Maya and Illusion, delivered in London, Part 1. Almost all of you have heard of the word Maya. Generally, it is used, though incorrectly, to denote illusion or delusion or some such thing. But the theory of Maya forms one of the pillars upon which the Vedanta rests. It is therefore necessary that it should be properly understood. I ask a little patience of you, for there is a great danger of it being misunderstood. The oldest idea of Maya that we find in Vedic literature is the sense of delusion. But then the real theory had not been reached. We find such passages as Indra through his Maya assumed various forms. Here it is true the word Maya means something like magic, and we find various other passages always taking the same meaning. The word Maya then dropped out of sight altogether. But in the meantime, the idea was developing. Later, the question was raised, why can't we know this secret of the universe? And the answer given was very significant. Because we talk in vain, and because we are satisfied with the things of the senses, and because we are running after desires, therefore we, as it were, cover the reality with a mist. Here, the word Maya is not used at all, but we get the idea that the cause of our ignorance is a kind of mist that has come between us and the truth. Much later on, in one of the latest Upanishads, we find the word Maya reappearing. But this time, a transformation has taken place in it, and a mass of new meaning has attached itself to the word. Theories have been propounded and repeated, others had been taken up, until at last the idea of Maya became fixed. We read in the Svetasvatara Upanishad, know nature to be Maya, and the ruler of this Maya is the Lord Himself. Coming to our philosophers, we find that this word Maya has been manipulated in various fashions until we came to the great Shankaracharya. The theory of Maya was manipulated a little by the Buddhists too, but in the hands of the Buddhist, it became very much like what is called idealism, and that is the meaning that is now generally given to the word Maya. When the Hindu says the word is Maya, at once people get the idea that the world is an illusion. This interpretation has some basis as coming through the Buddhistic philosophers, because there was one section of philosophers who did not believe in the external world at all. But the Maya of the Vedanta, in its last developed form, is neither idealism nor realism, nor is it a theory. It is a simple statement of facts that what we are and what we see around us. As I have told you before, the minds of the people from whom the Vedas came were intent upon following principles, discovering principles. They had no time to work upon details or to wait for them. They wanted to go deep into the heart of things. Something beyond was calling them, as it were, and they could not wait. Scattered through the Upanishads, we find that the details of subjects which we now call modern sciences are often very erroneous, but at the same time, their principles are correct. For instance, the idea of ether, which is one of the latest theories of modern science, is to be found in our ancient literature in forms much more developed than is the modern scientific theory of ether today, but it was in principle. When they tried to demonstrate the workings of that principle, they made many mistakes. The theory of the all pervading life principle, of which all life in this universe is but a differing manifestation, was understood in Vedic times. It is found in the Brahmanas. There is a long hymn in the Samhitas in praise of prana, of which all life is but a manifestation. By and by, it may interest some of you to know that there are theories in the Vedic philosophy about the origin of life on this earth very similar to those which have been advanced by some modern European scientists. You, of course, all know that there is a theory that life came from other planets. It is a settled doctrine with some Vedic philosophers that life comes in this way from the moon. Coming to the principles, we find these Vedic thinkers very courageous and wonderfully bold in propounding large and generalized theories. Their solution of the mystery of the universe from the external world was as satisfactory as it could be. The detailed workings of modern science do not bring the question one step nearer to solution because the principles have failed. If the theory of ether failed in ancient times to give a solution of the mystery of the universe, working out the details of that ether theory would not bring us much nearer to the truth. If the theory of all pervading life failed as a theory of this universe, it would not mean anything more if worked out in detail, for the details do not change the principle of the universe. What I mean is that in their inquiry into the principle, the Hindu thinkers were as bold and in some cases much bolder than the moderns. They made some of the grandest generalizations that have yet been reached, and some still remain as theories, which modern science has yet to get even as theories. For instance, they not only arrived at the ether theory but went beyond and classified minds as also as a still more rarefied ether. Beyond that, again, they found a still more rarefied ether. Yet that was no solution. It did not solve the problem. No amount of knowledge of that external world could solve the problem. But, says the scientist, we are just beginning to know a little. Wait a few thousand years and we shall get the solution. No, says the Vedantist, for he has proved beyond all doubt that the mind is limited, that it cannot go beyond certain limits, beyond time, space, and causation. As no man can jump out of his own self, so no man can go beyond the limits that have been put upon him by the laws of time and space. Every attempt to solve the laws of causation, time, and space would be futile because the very attempt would have to be made by taking for granted the existence of these three. What does the statement of the existence of the world mean then? This world has no existence. What is meant by that? It means that it has no absolute existence. It exists only in relation to your mind, to my mind, and to the mind of everyone else. We see this world with the five senses, but if we had another sense, we would see it in something more. If we had yet another sense, it would appear as something still different. It has therefore no real existence. It has no unchangeable, immovable, infinite existence, nor can it be called non existence, seeing that it exists and we have to work in and through it. It is a mixture of existence and non existence.